Welcome back, everybody. So this is going to be a brief introduction to Nmap, the network mapper. Nmap is useful for doing a network map. It lets you specify either a host or a range of hosts or IPs and do a port scan of it to see what is open on that server. So I have two servers that I'm running on virtual machines on my host right now. So I'm going to do one of them, which I don't have anything open on, so it's just going to tell me that the server is unavailable, like that. Then I have my Windows host that is not locked down at all, and it's going to show up with quite a bit of things. I'm just running this just nmap space whatever the IP address is. You can also specify a network range if you want to do a wider range of things. For the CTF, we're going to be providing specific IP addresses that you'll probably want to run and map against. So here we have the output. This is a small output for Nmap. I didn't specify any extra options, or as they're referred to, switches. So it's showing here. It actually did a DNS resolution on it, so it's giving my local PC's name. It's showing that it only scanned a total of 1,000 ports. By default, that's all Nmap runs against, is the 1,000 most common ports. So it's showing that 992 were filtered, so nothing was open on them. But it is listing out these ones down here, showing that there are some that are open. So it's going to list the port number and then the protocol type, so TCP in this case, whether it was open. It can also show like closed and that kind of stuff if it identifies that that port is possibly open, but it's not accepting our traffic, either due to like a firewall rule or something like that. And then it's doing its best effort to resolve. Well, in this case, it's just saying, hey, typically this is an SSH port. So SSH, MSRPC. We have our NetBIOS, HTTPS. So yeah, if you needed to run some other command or some extra options, you would do that by doing a dash, and then so right now I'm doing dash sc dash sv. So I'm doing safe scripts and then try to enumerate versions. I'm just going to run it like that. You'll see that the output is going to be extremely different. And it will take a bit longer. You can also specify a -p if you wanted, and specify a specific port. So if you were looking for a specific port, but you weren't sure what host it is, you could do like a open up a, split this horizontally. You could do like nmap -p and then specify a network range. So if I wanted to see what was open on port 80 on my entire network, I could do that, and it would just do a quick scan of my network. As you can see, there are 5 hosts up, and it lists out all of the ones that have port 80 open. So I'm going to go ahead and close that and let this continue to run. For the most part, there's not going to be anything too crazy. Nmap is extremely powerful. There's full tutorials on how to utilize it. If you're interested, I definitely recommend looking into it. It's very helpful. Trying to figure out if I wouldn't recommend using it at work unless you get permission to do so. But like at home, if you're trying to figure out why you can't connect to something and you want to see what is open on that device, you can run it against that IP and try to figure out what's open. And we're gonna see how long this takes to show up. There we go. It's about 90% done. So if you press enter or any key, it will give you a estimate of how long it's gonna take. And as you can see, by adding those the safe scripts, it definitely adds a lot of time, but it's going to give you a lot more information that you can utilize in trying to identify what's going on the IP address that you've pointed it at. You can also do a TAC-V or TAC-VV for verbosity and get you some information earlier in your scan. So if I had done -VV, it would have listed up here which ports were already open before it started doing any of the enumeration scans on the ports for the version and any of the scripts. This one is just hanging out there. It's not quite sticking to the 5 minutes I was hoping for these videos. Here we go. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot more output. It does enumerate versions. It'll do that by doing banner grabs, which I'll talk about a little bit with Netcat here in the next video. But as you can see, it's guessing that it's a Windows box. And it is opening up. Looks like it did. Yeah, it actually showed up some extra ports this time. So yeah, that is Nmap. Hope this helps a little bit. Feel free to use man, like I mentioned in the first video, and read up. There's a lot of different things out there. OS detection and script scanning and all that kind of stuff. It's a very powerful tool.